Aquarius, I don't know what happened. I guess it was a fever dream that I recorded your reading for the week of October 13th through 19th because I remember doing it. I remember uploading it. I remember all kinds of things about it, but apparently that did not happen. So, Aquarius, you are going to have a weekly reading from me from Rogue Mystic Divination for the 14th of October through the 20th. And I apologize if you ended up coming to the channel looking for your read sooner because, like I said, I remember doing it, I remember posting it, and even going through my videos, it's not on my phone, it's not on the channel, so I don't know what happened. Give that one to the gremlins, I guess, but here we go. This is going to be your, and thank you for coming back if you're a returning user, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. We have gremlins. They are plentiful, and you know what? They're really not that bad, but everybody needs a home. Why not open it to the gremlins too? They make things interesting. And that could be the kind of week that you're having, or that you're going to have, because why not? That's going to be for Monday, Tuesday, ironically, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then this is for Saturday, Sunday. So, if you've been here before, you know I read the devil a little bit differently. I don't think it's necessarily a shadow self. To me, it doesn't come off as a shadow self card. And by all means, read these how you would like to. I try and make them as visible as possible. I apologize if you can't read the text, but for me, the devil says, are you categorizing things in the correct way? Are you seeing them for what they actually are? Or are you only seeing the pieces that you want to see? So I believe that is what you need to keep in mind for Monday and Tuesday of this week. You could end up being tempted to deal with a person, deal with a situation, because it looks like you will be able to profit from it either by association or by monetarily. However, this may end up showing a side of yourself to you and those around you that you have either refused to acknowledge or don't want to acknowledge. And even if you have the utmost good intentions in your actions on Monday, Tuesday with the devil, people could be utilizing your actions to see you as a devil because they're seeing you this way. There may be people around you that are only seeing what it is that they can use and ignoring other things like what it is that you actually need out of a relationship or what you need out of a job. That, oh, well, you're fine entry level, you don't need a raise. They may be seeing you as a person who is just happy-go-lucky and is fine with the position that you're at in life. And that you don't have any problems, and that you don't have a problem paying your bills or getting to and from work, and you don't have any needs that need to be fulfilled. Now, if this is a relationship, they could be seeing you as, the other person could be seeing you as someone that doesn't need anything from them. That you're set for life and you have everything that you need and you want for nothing, and you should just be happy with what it is that you got. They may end up being corrected if not by you, by somebody else who considers you a close friend, and they're kind of tired of seeing you get bullied or ignored. They may come into a situation like if you have been out of position for years or been in a relationship for years, and you get, like, say you get one of your friends a position at the company or the store or whatever that you work at, and they're there for a while with you and everything's fine, and they're picking up things okay, and you're helping them out where you can to make sure that everything is going okay for them, and making sure that if they have any issues that, they don't have problems speaking up for themselves. However, there may be a point at which somebody else with less experience, who doesn't seem as centered in themselves or as good at their job as you do, that gets a promotion. They haven't even been there as long as you have. Your friend sees that you are doing a lot of the jobs that, like cleaning up after this person, or doing part of their job because they can't manage to get it together. And your friend speaks up on your behalf in front of everybody. So if you have a fire sign around you, that you're doing this for, that you're helping out in this way, they may end up speaking up for you because that's a fire sign for you. If you have an earth sign around you, it's most likely that they won't do it in front of everybody, but they may actually talk to upper management or your supervisor directly in private about this, pointing out things that that person doesn't do, and that you have actually been cleaning up after them. And even though this other person should have been a support person for the friend that you got hired, every time that friend went to go ask that person a question, they said, I don't know, or they weren't doing their job. So this could really be someone else speaking up for you on Monday and Tuesday, because they're not afraid to be seen as the bad guy. And of course, flip it and reverse it. This could be you speaking up for somebody else, but it really seems like Aquarius is over there doing their thing, getting things done, and doing what it is that they can to just make it through the day and not leave anything for anybody else to clean up. And then somebody else comes in from this third-party perspective and is like, wait a second. This isn't happening in front of my eyes. This isn't right. And whenever they do this, whenever they speak up for you, they're not just going to be speaking up for you. They're going to end up making a point, not just to say that you should have been promoted instead of this person, but that there are a number of other people who have been there longer, who have done more, and essentially making the point that there is no reason why this person should have been given a promotion, and that there's something fishy going on, and they need to correct the situation, because maybe something has been going on, something has been being said behind the scenes that is untrue. So Monday, Tuesday, it looks like, even though this isn't typically seen as a justice card, this is someone that's not afraid of looking like the bad guy. They will bear the shield of being the bad guy, or the character of being the bad guy, because At some point, somebody has to be. Somebody has to call other people out on their shit. And it doesn't look like it's going to be you, Aquarius, but it could be. So flip it and reverse it, whatever it is that you need to do. But this is just the general energy around you, or that you're going to feel yourself in the center of. And like I said, it doesn't feel like this is Aquarius is doing this. This feels like this is something that Aquarius is watching. But because codependency is associated with the devil, I do want to put out that just because this person is able to step in and speak up for you at this point in time, you shouldn't rely on this person to do this for you on a regular basis, like in every area of your life. Because at some point, you are going to need to stand up for yourself and have no fear in confronting people. And confrontation doesn't need to be a bad thing. It doesn't need to be an argument. It doesn't need to be putting somebody else in their place. It could just be as easy as saying, hey, I'm here too. And I do this, and this, which I don't see this person doing a whole lot. I don't even see them doing anything that they've been asked to do, let alone the things that need to be done without them needing to be asked. Like the basic tenets of their job, they're not getting it done. And even whenever they're addressed and they're coached and told to do this and that, they're still not doing it. Somebody else is coming up behind them, usually me, usually you, Aquarius, and picking up the pieces because it needs to be done. Like, that's the entire reason why you're there, is to do XYZ, and they're not even doing that. So this is going to be more of a use this person as an example as to how to stand up for yourself. Like, you're not wrong in what you believe that you're seeing. Your awareness of what's going on around you is pretty spot on. But anyway, moving away from the excitement of Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go back to the devil here. If this is you in a relationship, and well, it's the same energy as if you're in a relationship and this is a friend or an acquaintance of yours sitting there on the sidelines. They're not necessarily interested in you. They're not romantically involved with you. They're just kind of have a moment to have the insight into a moment of your life. And they think someone's acting strange, or they're not treating you right, or something like that is going on. And this might be the friend that sees what's going on and is like, what was that about? And excuse me, and goes and looks at your significant other and kind of almost pokes them in the chest like, you need to straighten your shit up, because that was not cool and you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be letting them do XYZ for you all the time. You shouldn't expect them to do everything for you all the time. And you need to start taking care of some of your own shit. And you don't need to be treating them with that attitude or with that expectation of whatever fuckery, right? So the same kind of vibe, the same feeling of Aquarius is there trying to live life and seeing other people be chosen instead of them. even though Aquarius is putting in the work and somehow still getting left behind. And people expecting them to be okay with it. And again, if this is an intimate relationship that this isn't in relation to, if this is an intimate relationship that this is in relation to, it could also be that this person is someone that you're not acquainted with, but you know of them. You know their name. You know who they are. You're familiar with their presence, but you don't necessarily consider them a friend or anything beyond just like a coworker or something like that. But they may even have seen your significant other that they see you with, and you're very comfortable, you're very familiar, you're very, seem to be enmeshed with this person, but they seem to be standoffish. Your supposed significant other seems to be standoffish. And it may end up coming out that they've seen them with another person. Much more enmeshed, much more comfortable, much more together with that person, and they may end up confronting them and telling them that they need to come clean to you about it. So they're not going to tell you about it because they're not entirely knowledgeable about what your relationship is, and they don't want to step on anybody's toes and start anything where there isn't anything. For all they know, you guys could have an open relationship, but they see you being treated a certain way, and they don't like the vibe, they don't like the consequence of it, and they're not afraid to stand up and say something about it. And I don't think that if you are in this position romantically, that this third person is going to tell you directly. They're going to expect your partner to tell you about it. And at some point in time, probably Wednesday of this week or next, they may ask you, this third person, this outside person is going to ask you if so-and-so told you. And hey, they weren't trying to step on any toes, but something just didn't seem right. And they felt that this does feel like this is a male. With the coworker situation, it could be male or female, but this person feels like male or someone that's in their masculine energy. So keep an eye out for that. But they are going to reiterate to you that they weren't trying to get involved with you or get involved in your relationship or get in between you guys and cause any trouble, but something didn't seem right, and they didn't think it was right to stay silent. And essentially, they're not afraid to be the bad guy. But for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you have the World, and something is going to come to completion. Now, whether that's going to be you letting somebody go or getting something that you've been working for, it could be either. The point is, you're not necessarily getting something like a wish fulfilled, but something that you have been trying to fill the meter on, like whether it's a jar that you keep money in, a bank account that you've been trying to get to a certain amount. You finally put in 5 years at the same company, and now you feel confident that you can move on without feeling like you didn't give the company enough time to do what it is that you wanted it to do for your resume, for your career. But if this does have something to do with your career and it's in relation at all to the devil, it's likely that you've come to a point at which I put my time in here, and now I'm going to put my 2 weeks in because I got a job someplace else. and they're going to be better for your career. Now, this new job is most likely something that you wanted over the position that you're currently in. Like it's something that you applied for in the past and it never worked out. You never got a call back. You tried to connect and it just didn't, the timing wasn't right. You didn't have the qualifications. You didn't have the experience, something. Well, now you do. And now they're welcoming you with open arms, essentially, into this new career path, which is the one you want to be on to begin with. There may be some kind of movement to where you change locations. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be immediate. Like you may end up taking the hour and a half or hour or so travel time where you're at until you get on your feet and make sure that this is going to be a more permanent situation. And just, take the L on the travel time for a while you're getting comfortable. And later on, it doesn't seem like it'll be until next year that you feel comfortable enough that you actually move closer in like walking distance. This could be from like moving from a suburban setting to a city setting. Now, romantically this week, if this is what the world is talking about for you, it looks as though if you've been waiting for someone to either essentially shit or get off the pot as far as your relationship goes, you're going to get what you want. And they're finally you're going to confront them hardcore and say, do you want to keep doing this or not? And if you're going to be wishy-washy about it, if you're not sure what you want to do, if you're just keep me on the back burner until you find something that you want, I'm tired of it. Do you want to get married or not? Do you want to move in together or not? And this could end up taking them for a loop because they're not expecting that from you. You're normally not. They see this as confrontational, but you don't. You just want honesty and answers and openness about what it is that they actually want, and they're going to take it as confrontational because they don't want to give an answer. And if they hesitate, that is your answer. Because of that, you could become a very black and white person for the person that you're dealing with and demand yes or no answers, and if they can't give you that, that is a no. Or they don't know. Or they don't feel as strongly about you as you feel about them. So that will be your completion as far as that goes. But it'll make you feel a little bit more whole, a little bit more, tremendously more sure of yourself. And if that's the case, then I don't really see you having a problem going out and dating this Friday. Even if you're just going out for drinks with friends, which is something that seems like you may not have done for a while. Or Saturday, Sunday, you have the King of Swords in reverse. This is likely coming up because you have stood up for yourself and now you don't need to say anything. People know where you stand. People have heard what it is that you have to say. And now they're just going to sit and stew about how it is that they decided to take that. But whenever you walk into a room, I just see everything falling silent. Like, oh, there's they. There's them. And if there's any weakness to be seen here with the King of Swords in reverse, I don't think that's your weakness. I think it's the fact that you stood up for yourself, or somebody else has stood up for you, and then people are made to stop and take a second look at you and see that that person is right. And see that they needed you in as a part of the team, and that you may have been carrying more of the burden than anybody wanted to accept. And again, this doesn't feel like you that's being manipulative, or misusing power. It seems like it is somebody else who has been found out to be taking advantage of the fact that you would just step in and fill any labor gaps, or you'd end up cleaning up after other people. Now, with the week as a whole, it almost looks like if this is a work situation that we're talking about, it does seem to be the vibe for most of the people tuning in for this, so it's almost like you help your friend get a job at where it is that you work at, and maybe they've already been there for a minute with you, and they're starting to do work on their own and notice how things work on their own there, and they're not that okay with it. And they start to notice that everyone seems to be required to clean up after someone, or this person isn't supposed to do, or doesn't have to do everything that everybody else has to do. And it's confusing them, and then you end up going on vacation, right? Or you have to take a short leave of absence in the middle of the week. And at that point, it comes to light, like, well, why isn't this getting done? Why isn't that done? Why isn't this being handled correctly? Blah, blah, things like that. And that's whenever this person starts to stand up and say, because everyone apparently is required to clean up after your special case, and they're not doing their job. And as a manager, you're not doing your job if you're not paying attention to what's going on the floor, or with the client accounts, or whatever it is that you're dealing with. But I feel like I have run on a little bit longer than I normally do, especially for the weekly. So, Aquarius, I am going to let you go, and just know that not everybody is blind to what's going on. There's nothing wrong with you standing up for yourself, but if you've been trying to and it hasn't been working, there may be a third party that ends up stepping in and says, hey, what's going on? And no, it's not just, you Aquarius having an issue with something, or you trying to single somebody out, or anything like that. It is a third party that's saying, they're like, I've been here for 15 minutes. I've been at this job. I've, just happened to walk by, and all of a sudden, if this is the significant other situation, If there's something wrong with that relationship and that was actually your sister, well, then you shouldn't have a problem answering a question about it. Because you seem pretty cuddly with an outside person that's not your significant other, Aquarius over here, and it just didn't make too much sense. I just thought I'd bring it up. But your reaction tells me everything I need to know. And for the work situation, I've been here for 15 minutes. I know I haven't been here that long. I haven't been, grafted into the culture of the company or the team or whatever, and they just are pointing out everything it is that is wrong and everything it is that you've been doing, and everything you've been doing hasn't been getting done since you took this leave of absence. And it's very likely you may be taking this leave of absence to look for another job or interview or do this travel, because it does seem like it is a little bit of a distance, a little bit of an inconvenience to get there for you, but you'll be able to work it out until you can actually get settled where it is that it'll be more convenient for you. So be patient, Aquarius. You're not the only one that's noticing the problems that are going on, and it could be a surprising person who ends up speaking up for you. Be patient with yourself, and be as patient with yourself as you've been with the people around you, and stop picking up after them. That's all you have to do. If they want to complain about something being a mess or being a problem, then clean up after yourself. Do what it is that you're being paid to go there to do. Do what you came to the relationship to do, and let other people handle what it is that they need to be doing as a part of either a work team or as part of an intimate relationship with you. And if they fail to do what it is that they should be doing already, that's going to tell you everything you need to know. And it may actually start to enlighten some other people who have been watching, or enlighten the other person that you're directly dealing with. Be careful out there, Aquarius, and if you feel some bad vibes around you this week, I don't feel like they're going to be directed at you, but you're going to feel the energy just kind of all-encompassing fire, like smoldering fire kind of a thing, like on a stressed out, tense kind of a way. Aside from that, Aquarius, I do dailies, weeklies, and monthly reads here on Rogue Mystic Divination. I will be doing private readings here soon. I'm still setting things up and figuring out how I want to do that, but hopefully before the end of October that will be set up. So be patient with yourself, be patient with other people around you, because you're not making things up, you're not hallucinating what's going on, and even though people don't seem to want to listen to you, they will listen to someone else whenever they come out of left field and point the same things out that you have been. So be careful out there, Aquarius, and be patient with yourself. And as hard as it is, as much as you've been patient with everything already, just hang in there and it will work out in your favor. Magically, maybe even overnight.